and welcome to the Nexus Podcast with Noble Public Schools, where we seek to connect stakeholders with great happenings in our community, create new opportunities for our staff and students, and elevate what's possible for our district. I'm your podcast host, Briton Heitt, and today we are discussing all things stop motion with Mrs. Nicole Emmons. So, Nicole, thank you so much for joining us. And if you would like to introduce yourself really quick, you can. Go
Hi.
for it.
So my name is Nicole Emmons. I'm a stop motion animator, an artist, and educator. I specialize in puppet animation and down shooting. I like to use stop motion also in art exhibits, and I work with children from pre-K up to adults.
Great. Okay. So lots of experience.
Yeah.
Lots of experience. And we spent 4 days together at Quartz Mountain recently.
Yeah.
So what did you think? Was that your first time there?
No, that was my second time.
Okay. Oh, great.
Yeah.
So what did you think
I loved it.
overall?
I'm always a little intimidated by teaching teachers because I feel like
Mm,
you guys know all my tricks already. Like if I'm like, hey guys, listen up. Like I can just imagine that you're like rolling your eyes. But after we
yeah.
got into it, it was really fun. I had a really great time with everyone.
Oh, it was great. It was great. And thank you so much for agreeing to do this podcast too, because I think our kids, I learned a lot from you. I had just done some preliminary kind of stop motion with my kids at home. And so I've never done anything with students before. So we're excited. Of course, I sent you the write up that I submitted to my administrative team,
Yeah.
and they were able to get us another couple of iPads. So we're starting with four, and then we also
Oh,
got
that's
some
great.
really nice desktop mounts
Oh,
as
cool.
well that the kids will use, and they can kind of move things around. And then we'll just start with just some your basic things to get going with stop motion, and of course we'll be using Stop Motion Studio as well on the iPads.
Cool.
So yeah, okay. So we're going to go through some questions really quick, and yeah, just go ahead and answer them to the best of your ability. So number one, so they're going to be working in groups. So all of these questions are going to have kind of like a group framework. Number one, how can a group of friends make everyday objects like clay or toys come to life in a stop motion video? And what's the most magical part of working together to create it? What would you say?
So I think giving inanimate objects life is the most
Hmm.
exciting thing because you can turn an eraser into a character. You can turn a block into, a character
Sure.
by imbuing characteristics. Different objects can have different characteristics based on their shape. And the most fun thing is definitely bringing things to life and working
Yeah.
together to listen to each other's ideas and kind of working as a group to suss out a story. And that's really fun too.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, and a lot of your videos that you've created, have you had a team there with you? Because your videos look they're like very professional.
Oh,
So
thank you.
you had a whole group working
It
with you on
depends
those,
on
or?
which video. The one I
Okay.
won Best Video at Dead Center in 2022,
Mm,
that one I did almost all by myself. I had some people helping with art, but the one like commercial stuff, I always have a team if I'm working on commercials or any type of like I did something for waffles and mochi and that
oh,
I actually still did that mainly by myself though. We had team over the phone, but for
okay.
shooting, it was mainly me in my garage.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. And I'm going
yeah.
to show the kids some of your work too.
Oh,
Little
cool.
snippets and things. That way they can see how talented you are, because it's pretty amazing.
Aw.
I will
Thank
be
you.
showing them some of the things that I created. Now they've seen there was the one with the puppet, kind of the announcements video that I created while we were there. That has been in our live stream announcements now, so they've seen that. Well, they're seeing that
Cool.
daily, and so that's kind of cool. But and this is the first time actually I've went to, and I feel a little guilty saying this, but this is the first time I've went to Quartz Mountain, and I feel like I can really bring back what I've learned and share it with the students,
Oh,
like
that makes me feel so good.
in a pretty profound way. So
Yeah.
again, thank you for that. So okay, so question number two. All right, if your group had only classroom stuff like pencils or paper to make a silly stop motion story, what would you create, and how would you split up jobs on the iPad? Because I know that at Quartz Mountain you were talking about splitting up jobs, so kind of lay
Yeah.
out what that might look like for the kids.
Well, I think first off, I would come together with my group, probably a
Okay.
group of three or four, and
Mm-hmm.
and create a small story so we kind of have an idea of where we're going. You can do drawn animation if you only have pencils and paper, or you can actually
Okay.
ball up the paper and make three-dimensional puppets out of paper. So
Oh,
you can do drawn or make them three-dimensional. I usually put one person on camera, and that person needs to look out for shadows and making sure that the table doesn't shake and making sure that the camera doesn't move. So you have one person taking pictures, one, and then having the other two people like actually setting up the animation and doing the animations. And then I take
Okay.
turns. I try to rotate it around
Okay,
to do.
perfect. So one person on camera, and then the other two or three kind of working on animations and keep them rotating
Yeah. And you
so
could
they all
have
get a chance.
if you have one person animating, the other person could be making the art or getting the art prepared. So that's another job, is making sure all the art's ready and making sure the puppets are ready and everything like that.
Okay, perfect. All right. Yep. And that's it. And I think once we get started, the kids they might get bored with the camera job, but it's a very important one. Yeah, I mean, making
Yeah.
sure that you're consistently snapping those pictures
Yeah.
and doing it in a way to where the camera's not, moving around.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
you can also be in charge of deleting shots if you double click a frame. Like, so you could do everything that has to do with the camera. But I do recommend taking turns so that everyone has a chance to understand how important
okay,
that job is.
that's right. So kiddos, when you get started in your groups, as early as today, when we view this, we may get started. Or the next week, just make sure that you guys are taking turns. That way, you each get a chance to see what each step of the process looks like. So, and we'll guide
Yeah.
you guys through that too. So, all
Yeah.
right, very good. So number three, what's one awesome trick in stop motion studio? So the application itself that a group of 3 to 5 kids can use to make their characters move very smoothly on their iPad. What would you say? Is there any kind of trick that you know?
The one thing that I'm always really keyed into is the frame rate. So making sure the
Yep.
frame rate set at least 8 frames per second.
Okay.
Professional animators usually do 12 frames a second or 24 frames a second, but with children, I usually do 8 frames a second, but don't go lower than that or it just starts looking very sticky. And you can't make
Sure.
it slower or make it faster. You have to actually shoot more frames if you want it to be slower and shoot less frames if you want it to be faster. So the animation is really on the student to make sure that those things are going faster or slower. It's not something you can fix and post.
Sure. So
So
make
just
sure that it's 8 to 12,
yeah,
like somewhere in that ballpark.
yeah.
Okay.
And then also, this isn't really to make it smoother, but Stop Motion Studio has a green screen tech
Oh, okay.
feature, which is pretty cool. And you can put any color background and put your object on the background, and then you can key out the background that you've selected and then add in their kind of more fun backgrounds. And they have like a cityscape, a moonscape, underwater
Oh.
scape, like all these kinds of things. And that's really fun.
Okay, so we will definitely check that out because of course since they're going to be working with tables and then they've got the mount that attaches to the table, it comes up and over.
Oh,
We
cool.
should be able to put like some butcher paper, like a green butcher paper or something like that
Yeah.
down below that will
Poster
hopefully act
board.
as
Yeah,
yes.
you just get poster board from Walmart and you can get
Okay.
the green or blue, just whatever color your character. If your character is green, then you can't use a green background. You'd have to use a
Yeah.
blue background or orange. Just make sure whatever color is not in your character.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good. Good deal.
Mhm.
Okay, so number four, have you ever had a funny mix up in a group stop motion project, like someone bumping the camera or et cetera? How did your team fix it to make something cool? Anything you can think of?
Yeah, one time I was thinking about this. There was kind of like an ocean scene and they bumped the
Sure.
camera and then they decided that it kind of looked like a ship moving or like the water moving. So then they
Okay,
kept
yeah.
bumping the camera. They sort of embraced it. I don't recommend just totally bumping the camera all the time because it
Yeah.
can make it look really chaotic. But that's something you can do. But the best thing to do is use onion skin and try to kind of match it as close as possible to what it was before, unless you're just
Okay.
going to go off the tripod and do a handheld, which can be fun, but it also can
Sure.
make things a lot more complicated for
That's right. And so you
animation.
mentioned onion skin. What is that?
Okay, so
Like,
onion skin is where you can see the frame that's live and the frame that you shot before, even up to
oh,
a couple frames before, and it's a
okay.
little slider that's in Stop Motion Studio. So you'll find it on I think it's on the right side of the frame, or it
Yep.
might be on the bottom. It changes where it is.
I
But
think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, but make sure that students know to turn it on and off because sometimes they get confused if they have it on too many layers deep, then they can't tell what's live and what's not live. Um,
Okay.
I prefer to use live most of the time. I don't want to see all those layers, but I do need it sometimes to check to see where a character has gone or if there's a bump or something like that.
Okay. Good deal. So that's where the onion comes in, the layers involved, because
Yeah,
you can see what's before, what's behind, and
Yes.
etc. Right? Okay, cool. Yeah, and I don't know if I used that too much when we were working, but I need to. Yeah, so we'll definitely get into that with
Yeah.
the kids. So that'll be good. Okay, so number five, and I think this is our final one. I got one little surprise after
Okay.
this one, if that's okay.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
more for me than for the kids, but it's for the kids too. So
Okay.
for a group dreaming up their first stop motion adventure, because most of these kids probably have not worked with stop motion before, at least not stop motion studio. I mean,
Yeah.
I would venture a guess that none of these students have actually worked with stop motion studio. But what's a super fun theme like pirate battles or space robots, and how can each person help capture it frame by frame on the iPad? So, what would you say starting out? I guess just
So a fun theme I like to do underwater is sometimes really fun.
mm,
Working with tissue paper to kind of create water effects, or like any, if you also can work with cotton to create smoke effects. Doing
okay.
explosions are really fun when you're just getting started. You're kind of using replacement animation to have one thing in the middle and then replace it with another, and then you can have things coming off of the sides.
Oh,
But
cool.
using
Okay.
cotton, using tinfoil also makes cool explosions or fire looking things.
Oh, good.
Um,
And we have a whole bunch of tinfoil,
yeah,
so good
so
to know.
that's really fun. And foil is great. You can use it also to sculpt shapes, or you can use
Yeah.
it flat. Our student Daniel that was in our class made a whole film with tinfoil, and he used
Oh,
it
wow.
as a writing surface as well as like a three-dimensional surface.
Okay. I need
So
to get with him then, and I need to see if he's got that video. That way,
yeah,
I can maybe show that to the kids because that would actually be. I think tinfoil might be a good. It could be a good start.
yeah,
Um, because like you said, it's very malleable. Once you get it kind of into a shape or whatever it is,
yeah.
you can bend it around, and yeah.
You can also spray glue it to fabric, and then it kind of
Mm.
works as like an animatable surface because it retains the shape of whatever you mold it into. So you
Oh
can
wow. Okay.
spray glue and use different fabrics. And there's
Oh,
another
neat.
foil called black wrap, which is a little thicker than tin foil. You can order
Okay.
that if you want to get more into it. But really heavy
Oh.
duty tin foil works really good.
Okay. Good. All right. So we'll keep that in mind. Perfect.
And then what was the other
Um.
part of the question?
Yes. Okay. So here's the last question. Oh, the
Okay.
other part. Let me see. Oh, let's see. How can each person help capture it frame by frame on the iPad? I guess
Okay.
just what would you say to that?
That's going back into the roles, but
Yeah.
just everybody be really cautious of shadows, of not bumping
Yes.
the table, not bumping the tripod legs, working as a team to make sure that, everything's very stable and that you kind of protect it from other students as well, and making sure you don't get implements of art into the frame, like pencils or scissors or anything like that, making sure you keep it all out of the frame. So you can work as a team to kind of make sure the frame is clean and the background is stable and things like
That's
that.
right. And
Yeah.
that, again, the role of the whoever's, directing or the camera, whoever's in charge of the camera, that's another thing that they need to watch out for is shadows and before they hit that button.
Yeah.
Because once you hit that button, I mean, you can go back and redo it, but if you've got shadows or, you've got something in the scene that, and in fact, in the announcement video I made, you can see in some areas where I've left a pencil there on accident.
Yeah.
And then you'll see the next frame, it's out of there. And then there's
Yeah.
maybe a scissor or something. And it's just,
Yeah.
once you get into and you're hitting and you're taking pictures, you just kind of forget when you bring things in and you
Yeah.
move the scene around. So yeah,
That's why that
that's
camera position is very important. So it may seem dull, but it's actually
yeah,
one of the most important jobs of the whole thing. So,
exactly. That way you can get it right. And so I'm gonna submit to you kiddos that are watching this right now. Make sure that when you are working with your team, if you're a squirrely guy or girl, make sure you're not moving around too much. Otherwise, that table is going to shift and your scene could go, sideways, literally. Okay, so watch that. Now, okay, so here's the surprise question. Okay,
okay.
so this one has to do with AI. All right,
Okay.
so with the advent of AI and how it's just it's kind of seeping into everything, right? So how are you seeing this work out in stop motion? I mean, in your profession, and what kind of ramifications do you think it has? Do you think they're more positive, more negative? Do you see like I mean, we're seeing AI actors, we're seeing AI music, like all sorts of things. Like how do you feel like this affects stop motion?
Well, stop motion is such a handmade craft. I feel like it can never
Mm-hmm.
be replaced by anything like
Sure.
that.
Okay, good.
One way I've thought of using it is you could use it for reference images, like you can do text to video or text to image to create still frames and kind of like key poses, but you can also do
Okay.
those key poses by yourself with just a video
Hmm.
camera or with your cell phone. You can make your own key poses and you can use those as reference. So I don't
Okay.
really I haven't used it much myself yet, and
Yeah.
I worry about all the ramifications with the environmental problems that it causes and things like that. So I think,
Hmm.
in stop motion, you don't really need it right now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just learning the craft is really the most important thing is for students to learn about basic animation. And stop motion is really the building blocks for all animation. I mean, you can really learn
Yeah.
about all animation if you get good at stop motion. So,
That's right.
I would kind of steer clear of AI for now, personally, for especially for stop motion, and just use your imagination, and see what you can tap in your own mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is stop motion is such a hands-on enterprise that I feel like the kids are going to get a lot more out of it if they're again, they're going to be working in teams so they can bounce ideas off of each other. In
Yeah.
terms of ideation, you can use AI to get ideas and things, or maybe use it as like a springboard,
Yeah.
if you're just out of ideas. But I agree with, I mean, I don't really feel like AI will be able to capture the heart and soul. I mean, it even goes back to writing, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
see authors, there's a lot of books out there and things that are unfortunately out in the marketplace that are created by AI, and somebody will put their name on it. Well, lo and behold, AI actually wrote the book, right? They just
Yeah.
downloaded the thing and put it up on Amazon. And so, but I don't think that I don't think it will ever be able to capture the heart and soul of the writer, just as much as I don't think it could
Yeah.
ever capture the heart and soul of the actor or the stop motion animation artist.
Yeah. And
So I
if
agree with you.
if anything, AI is more like computer, like
Hmm.
CGI. Because stop motion by its very nature is handmade and it's captured
Hmm.
frame by frame, so you really can't reproduce that because
Yeah.
it's a totally different art medium. Like it doesn't make sense. But maybe you could do computer animation kind of, but it looks
Hmm.
really weird. I've tested it out and sometimes you get really weird, like multiple arms,
Yeah.
multiple fingers and multiple heads and I don't know, it
Yep.
gets kind of crazy.
My
So,
my kids have played around with Grok has an Imagine feature, and you can put a
oh yeah.
picture in and it will make it come to life.
Yeah.
And yes, I mean, you still get extra arms, you still get extra things that you otherwise, shouldn't see in
Yeah.
the frame. And you're just going, it's kind of fun, and it's good for a laugh.
Yeah.
But again, it's just can't replicate real life. I mean, to the degree that real life does itself.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, but okay, so that was my pop question for you.
Okay.
So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, is there anything else that you'd like to tell the kids before we sign off?
Storyboarding can be really helpful as you're getting ideas together, using a
Okay.
template for storyboards and kind of pre-designing your idea, putting
So
keyframes in so you kind of know where you're going. I
okay.
would definitely recommend spending time playing under the camera and just experimenting. But once you get ready to make something, if you're really trying to make a film, you need to board it out and really figure out all the things that you need ahead of time. It makes it a lot smoother process.
Perfect. And that's what we plan on doing, kids, is I mean, we'll be
Cool.
starting with storyboarding. So, I mean, in
Cool.
their groups, they're going to have to do some brainstorming and things, I mean, before we get the camera going. And I know they're going to want to jump to the camera, but, you really want to have a set, you want to have an idea of where you're going.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just going to get hung up and you're going to waste a lot of time. And I mean, if they have a roadmap with that brainstorm session, then I think
Yeah.
we'll be good.
Yeah.
So, which I imagine that you do too. You have some sort of
Yeah.
outline or something that you follow. You're
Yeah.
not just, yeah, a
Yeah.
seat or a pantser. You're not a pantser animation artist, are you?
I've
There
been
are,
wanting to try that more often, but
have
usually
you?
I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
I know. I just find even with because I write on the side, and I find that if I sit down and I've got an outline and I know where I'm going, I can get it so much more done than when I'm just stream of mind trying to come
Yeah.
up with ideas. So
Yeah, exactly. It puts
yeah,
guardrails up.
exactly. Yep, keeps you
Yeah.
keeps you in line.
Yeah.
So, well, Nicole, thank you so much for joining us, and I
Yes.
appreciate you rolling with all the technical, stuff this morning. And
Yes.
guys, I got her these questions pretty last minute. I mean, yesterday. So she rolled with the punches on those. But Nicole, again, thank you so much, and we
Yeah, thank you for
appreciate it.
having
And
me.
and I will be sure to send you a few of our videos that get
Oh
created by the
yeah, I'd
kiddos,
love to see them.
so you can
Yeah.
see the role and the impact that you've made through what you've taught me, and how
Oh,
it's being shared with the kids.
Very
And that's
excited.
what, in the end, that's what Quartz Mountain is all about. Right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, sharing your expertise with teachers who take it back to the kids. So I'm excited to try and do that.
Yes. Thank you so
So,
much. I really
all right.
appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And hey, have an incredible day.
Okay, you
Thanks
too.
again. All right. I'm going to
Thanks.
sign out.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.